See, that's the weird part. Sounds so odd every time I try to raise. It still sounds weird. And we're just going to spend a little time settling in. And if you feel comfortable with masks off, we can have masks off. If you don't, you can keep masks on. It looks like you guys want masks off. That works for me. And so just close the eyes, close the mouth, and take a little time to settle in. Just check in with your body. Notice the parts of your body that feel terrific, really wonderful, vital, alive. Maybe also notice those parts that need a little extra love. Send your love and attention through the breath. You might also check in with your energy level, your mental state, your lots of ideas rushing around, your emotional state, and try to just notice it all without judgment, without expectations. And as you breathe here, make a conscious decision to set aside all thoughts of what happened before class, what will happen after class, just really letting this time be for you to think about you alone, no other requirements, no other obligations. And when you're ready, engage your Ujjayi breath, your victorious breath, by engaging the muscles at the back of the throat as if you were saying ha, but with mouth closed and no vocalization. And you'll hear a whispery sound of the inhale and the exhale. And try to listen for that sound throughout your practice, letting it calm and inspire you. So think of every in-breath as nourishing, every out-breath as cleansing. And then notice the movement of the diaphragm as it draws down to fill the lungs and pushes up to empty them. And think about really filling the lungs as much as you can, but with no strain, no stress. And then also emptying them fully, and you'll feel the core gently engage. You can engage Mula Bandha, muscles of the pelvic floor, draw them up and in. And as you engage in this slow, conscious breath, take a moment to think about what you'd like from your practice this morning. If you're on your back, slowly, gently come up to a comfortable seat. You can open the eyes, and we're going to come to a seat. We're going to bring one ankle in front of the other, and the ankles don't need to be aligned. And once you get both the outside of the ankles touching the mat, bring fingertips down in front of you and just walk yourself forward. Just come down as far as you'd like. This isn't a great big stretch, but really notice how it feels different in the two hips. This is just a really gentle preparation for a hip opener. Really send your attention to the back body, that area behind the heart, letting it expand with every inhale, and actively drawing navel toward the spine with every exhale. We'll take 2 more breath cycles here. And then slowly walk the hands back. Come back up to vertical and just switch the position of your two ankles. So bring the other ankle in front. Whenever you feel ready, bring fingertips down to the mat and walk yourself into your forward bend. Only coming down as far as you like. Really relax the face and neck. Just let the head hang here. And notice how this feels different with the other ankle in front. Again, really activating the breath, engaging Mula Bandha, drawing muscles of the pelvic floor up and in. You can engage Uddiyana Bandha, that belly lock, by actively drawing navel toward the spine. Take one more breath cycle here. And then slowly walk the hands back. And we're going to bring, let's see, whatever ankle you have in front, let's call it right ankle in front maybe. Bring the left knee to the bottom of that right foot. And then walk yourself around to the outside of that bent knee. Just come as far as you like. And then you can keep yourself up high with the arms long. Or maybe bend the elbows, come down lower. Maybe you'd even like to rest the head on the hands. Just breathe actively in this twist here. And again, thinking about cleansing with every exhale. When we breathe actively in a twist, we give inner organs a massage, allowing them to release toxins. Take one more breath cycle here. And then if you bend the elbows, lengthen the arms, come back through center, and you can rest one hand on the mat, and we're just going to start to lift and lower this knee. So this is a pretty small movement. It really targets the outside of the hip here. And you can keep the foot low, or you can bring the foot up with the knee. That's just up to you. So maybe more like a clamshell, or maybe lifting the whole leg. We're just building some heat here, exploring. The next time you lift, hold, and you can also feel your side body engage here. It's quite strong. Take one more breath cycle. And then lower that leg back down, and we'll just go to side two. So bring these to the other side. Bring that knee to the bottom of the foot, and we'll start by walking around to the outside of that bent knee. And you can make this twist as deep or as shallow as you like. You can keep the arms long, or you can bend the elbows. Maybe like resting the head on the hands. Maybe like bending the elbows and just holding low here. Maybe noticing how this side feels different. Really actively drawing navel toward the spine with every exhale. Take one more breath cycle here. When you're ready, lengthen the arms as you bend the elbows. Come back around through center, bring one hand to the mat, and then start to lift and lower that knee. So you can lift the foot with the knee, or you can keep the foot lower, just as you prefer. Either way, you're going to be really working these muscles on the outside of the hip, engaging the oblique muscles here. This is a really awkward, sort of intense movement. Let's try two more here. And this time when you lift, hold and breathe. And then lower the leg back down and come to a comfortable seat. So maybe cross-legged or in hero's pose where you rest the hips on the heels. But find an easy seat, Sukhasana, where you can sit tall. And on your next inhale, bring arms up next to the ears. You can lift the chin if you like. Exhale, lower the arms, twist to your right. And then inhale, lift back through center. You can lift the chin if you like. And then exhale, lower the arms, twist left. Maybe draw chin toward the chest. And continue like that, just moving with your breath rhythm. Noticing how it feels to move with the breath. Inhaling as you lift, exhaling as you lower. It's really slow, conscious breathing. And the next time you lower hands to the right, hold. That right hand firmly behind you, really press into that palm. Bring left hand behind the knee. So actively draw shoulders down and come the head up. And you'll feel the micro movements as you breathe in the twist here. The inhale draws you out of the twist. The exhale allows you to twist more deeply. Keep actively drawing shoulders down away from the ears. When you're ready, inhale, lift the chin, look up. Exhale, draw chin to the chest. Inhale, lift again. Exhale, lower. Last time, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Bring the head back to neutral, hold the torso where it is. And then turn the head, look across that left shoulder and hold and breathe. On your next exhale, release back through center. Inhale, bring arms back up next to the ears. Exhale, lower the arms, twist left this time, left hand behind you, bring right hand behind the knee. Maybe notice how this side feels different. If it's comfortable, you can look over that left shoulder. Notice how you sit taller on the inhale, twist more deeply on the exhale. And as you actively draw shoulders down away from the ears, inhale, lift the chin, look up. Exhale, draw chin to the chest. Inhale, lift again. Exhale, lower. Last time, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Bring the head back to neutral, hold the torso where it is. And then turn the head, look across the right shoulder, hold and breathe. On your next exhale, release back through center, rest hands on the knees, and take the torso in circles, just as big or small as you like. And you can bring the head into this as much or as little as you like. You can really explore the neck opening. Just let this be organic. And the next time you draw the torso back, reverse the direction of your circles. So notice where you feel a stretch, maybe where you feel some tension or resistance. And just breathe into it. And whenever you feel about even in both directions, come back to center. Inhale, bring arms up next to the ears. You can either touch palms together or maybe clasp hands and point index fingers toward the ceiling. Inhale, center. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, lift back through center. Exhale, side bend left. And just come down as far as you'd like. And focus on keeping some length in both sides of the torso, even that underside. And you can facilitate that by really extending the arms long. Keeping the sit bones in contact with the mat, keep drawing shoulders back. And the next time you side bend to the right, hold. And draw that left shoulder back. Maybe rest the head on the arm. You can turn your gaze up if you like. And then lower the right hand down, reach across with the left. Draw that left shoulder back as you actively draw the left hip down. So really deeply opening the left side of the torso. And on your next exhale, turn face and chest toward the mat. Keep reaching. So really stretching those fingertips away from the torso, letting the head hang here. So gently twisting the mid-back to invite a release of the lower back, stretch of the upper back here. And then inhale, draw that left shoulder back up again. Exhale, lift through center. Inhale, bring palms together or clasp hands. Exhale, side bend to the left. So again, you can turn your gaze up if you like. You can rest the head on the arm. Still drawing navel toward the spine with every exhale. This time you can lower left hand down, reach across with the right, draw that right shoulder back. Just let the head hang, maybe turning your gaze up at the palm. Opening up the right side of the torso. On your next exhale, turn face and chest toward the mat. Keep reaching. Gently twisting the mid-back. Relaxing the face and neck. Take one more breath cycle here. And then inhale, draw that right shoulder back up again. Exhale, lift through center. And then lower hands down to the knees, draw chin to the chest, and start to slowly roll the head from side to side. So bring one ear to one shoulder, slowly come back through center, bring the other ear to the other shoulder. And decide whether you want to continue slowly rolling side to side, Or bring the head in a full circle, drawing chin up and head back. Just noticing what you find here in the spirit of svadhyaya, self-study. And if you take the head in that full circle, be sure to go in both directions. Whenever you feel even on both sides, in both directions, you can come back up to center. And we'll transition to hands and knees. So, if you like cushioning under the knees, you can have a blanket under the knees. We're going to start with knees under shoulders. I'm sorry, knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. That would be different. And start by just breathing here in tabletop into this long neutral spine. You'll feel a gentle core engagement as you breathe into that navel to spine connection. And when you're ready, inhale, bring left knee out to the side with the knee bent 90 degrees. And we'll start to take that knee in slow circles, as big or small as you like. We're just exploring the hip joint here, engaging the core. And after you've done 3 times in one direction, pause with the thigh parallel to the mat, and then reverse the direction of your circles. After you've gone 3 times in each direction, come back to the starting place. Maybe you want more core challenge. You can shift that right hip right over the right knee. You can raise the left knee. You can even extend the left leg if you'd like a lot of core challenge. And if you extended the leg, bend the knee, lower it back down to the mat, draw hips toward heels, shift hips over to the left, and walk hands toward the top of your mat and to the right. And you can stack hands, actively draw that left shoulder down, and you'll get a deeper stretch in the glutes if you bring the hips further over to the left. Really activate the breath here. Take one more breath cycle. And then bring hands and hips back through center. Come back up to hands and knees. Bring wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, and we'll go to side 2. Inhale, right knee up to the side with the knee bent 90 degrees. Take it in slow circles. Maybe about the same size circles you did on the first side, or it might be different. If you feel like you need something different on this side, after 3 times in one direction, pause with the thigh parallel to the mat, and then reverse the direction of your circles. So you can let the head hang here, or you can keep the neck neutral with the face pointing at the mat. And after 3 times in each direction, bring the thigh back to parallel to the mat for more core challenge. Shift the left hip over the left knee. Maybe raise the right knee, maybe even extend that right leg. You can draw toes forward if you like. And if you extended the leg, bend the knee. Lower it back down to the mat. Lower hips to heels. This time shift hips over to the right. Walk hands toward the top of your mat and to the left. You can stack hands if you like. Actively draw that right shoulder down. So opening up the right side of the torso. If you're shifting hips to the right, you feel that stretch through the glutes as well. And then bring hands and hips back to center. Come back up to hands and knees. And then make sure you've got a block handy on your left side. We're going to take that left knee out to the left. We're going to inhale as you lift, exhale, lower. Just a really simple movement here. So try not to stack the hips. You want to keep the hips square. So both of those pointy bones are pointing down at the mat, but you're lifting that knee as high as you can. Breathing into the opposition there. And the next time you lift that left knee, hold. So draw the hip down, but raise the knee. So building some heat there before we shift into pigeon pose. Kapaltanasana. Take one more breath cycle here. And then bring that left knee toward the left wrist and bring the left ankle toward the right wrist. And you can untuck the toes and find a position where you're comfortable, so you can either bring a block under that left hip, or we also have bolsters. It might be more comfortable to slide a bolster under that left hip. You want something that you can lower the hip onto. And once you've got that place, come onto the fingertips, lift the heart up. And then exhale, slowly lower yourself down. Maybe you want to rest your head on a block. Or maybe you'd like to bring the forehead all the way down to the mat, or maybe stack fists and rest the forehead on there. You just want to find a place where you can breathe easily. And I'm going to come around to do adjustments here. You just want to keep your breath really active and think about being heavy in the hips. And I'm going to be pressing to encourage that hip opening. And with this adjustment, just like any other, if it doesn't feel right, please let me know right away. If you feel a release while you're breathing in this pose, you might slide that right knee a little further back. So you want to be heavy in that left hip, but also heavy in the right hip. This is, of course, a really asymmetrical pose. So really activating the breath here, and invite the hip to release. Our hips are tight for really good reasons, but we can encourage an opening. That brings more ease to lower back. So we'll take a few more breaths in this pose, just noticing how things might change as you spend time in the pose. Hips take their time to open up. They need patience and love. You feel ready. You can slowly come back up onto the hands. And you can set your prop aside, either your block or your bolster, whatever you used, and bring it over to the right side. And then come back to hands and knees. Come back to tabletop. And we'll breathe here in Chakravakasana, cat-cow. Inhale, lift head and tail, draw the navel down. Exhale, round the spine, draw the navel up, and continue like that. Inhaling as you draw shoulder blades together, opening the chest. Exhaling as you let them spread apart, lengthening the back of the neck. Just moving slowly here. Noticing what your full range of motion is in the spine. And the next time you inhale into cow pose, lifting head and hips, hold here. And then try bringing right hip a little closer to that right shoulder. And then left hip, just a subtle movement. 2 more times to each side. So shortening the right side of the torso and then the left side. When you're complete with that, exhale into cat pose. Strongly engaging the core as you relax the face and neck, really pressing into the palms to lift the mid-back. And we'll do that same thing. Draw right hip forward. And then release, draw left hip forward. Just that small rotation. 2 more times to each side. And then inhale back to a neutral spine. And when you're ready, bring right knee up on the inhale, and on the exhale, lower. Continue like that. I'm just going to just lifting and lowering, remembering to keep the hips square. So not stacking the hips, but lifting the knees. You keep that right hip low. And the next time you inhale and lift, hold and breathe. Really activating the breath here. And then bring that right knee to the right wrist, the right ankle toward the left wrist. And find your prop to slide under the right hip, either your bolster or your block. You can untuck the toes, lower yourself onto your prop. And once you've found that right hip resting on the prop, put the fingertips, inhale, lift the heart. And then exhale, lower down, maybe bringing forehead to the mat or to a block or stacking the fists. And just breathing into this heavy feeling, particularly in the right hip, but also in the left. And maybe you notice how this right hip opening feels different from the left. It's really activating the breath to encourage the release. Maybe noticing any thoughts or emotions that come up in your hip opening. It's believed that the hips can hold a lot of emotional energy. So if you feel something come up, just try to be peaceful with it and breathe into it. So just continue listening to your Ujjayi breath sounds. We'll spend a few more breaths here. Feel ready. Start to slowly come back up onto the hands. Set your prop aside. Come back to tabletop with knees under hips, but this time step the hands about one handprint in front of the shoulders. And we'll take the hips in circles. We're rolling around on the kneecaps here. These can be as big or small as you like. If you make big circles, you'll probably feel an IT band opening on the outside of the thighs. You'll feel the core engage when you draw the hips forward. The next time you draw the hips back, reverse the direction of your circle. So this kind of motion stimulates production of the synovial fluid in the hip joints. That's the lubricant that keeps everything sliding the way it should. And whenever you feel about even in both directions, bring the hips back over the knees and step the wrists back under the shoulders. We pick up neck and shoulder opener. Inhale, sweep the right arm up, follow the hand with your gaze. Exhale, hollow out the belly as you thread the arm under. Bring right cheek and right shoulder down and go 2 more times like that. Inhaling as you expand, exhaling as you contract. And when you come down to hold here, press into that right arm to generate more space between the right ear and the right shoulder. Keep the left hand where it is if you like, or maybe reach across the back for that right thigh. Another option for that left shoulder is to walk the left arm overhead on the mat and toward the right. So breathe actively here in this twist. Maybe notice that you get a little heavier as you spend time in the pose, and I'll be doing adjustments right fingertips between the shoulder blades and down the bottom. So your only job here is to keep breathing, to surrender to gravity. You're ready to transition, bring left hand back in front of the face. Inhale, sweep that right arm up again. Exhale, lower, we'll go to side 2. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, hollow out the belly, thread the arm under. 2 more times. Inhaling as you expand. Exhaling as you contract. When you bring left cheek and left shoulder down, hold here, pressing into the left arm. Think about that space between the left ear and the left shoulder. Keep the right hand where it is if you like, or reach across the back toward the left thigh, or maybe walk the arm overhead into your left this time. And just maybe noticing how things feel different on this side. Keeping the breath active. Stimulating our immune system as we breathe actively in a twist. When you're ready, bring right hand back in front of the face. Inhale, sweep left arm up again. Exhale, lower that hand down. And from here, we're going to transition to a seat with feet in front of us. So you can cross ankles and roll over them or swing feet out to the side as you prefer. And when you come to your seat, start with hands planted behind you, fingertips pointing at the hips. So when you're ready, inhale, extend the arms long, really open the chest as you press into the palms. Exhale, soften the elbows. Continue like that. So inhaling as you press down, noticing how shoulder blades squeeze toward each other. Exhale, soften. This time, inhale, extend and hold and breathe. So lengthening the neck, from crown of the head up, shoulders down. One more breath cycle here. And then soften the elbows. Turn the hands around. The fingertips point at the wall behind you and cross left ankle over right knee. So keep the left foot flexed here, and you can keep the hands just where they are. But if you want to deepen this hip opening, you might walk the hands closer to the hips. Keep drawing shoulders down away from the ears. And as you bring the hands closer to the hips, you're bringing the torso closer to that left leg. So you'll feel how that increases the hip opening. You can also draw this left knee away from the torso, and you'll feel how that torque changes the hip opening. But we protect the knee by flexing this foot, so keep it active. Really lengthening the neck. Again, just inviting this hip opening. And we'll start to shift the focus here by rolling toward the outside of the right foot and just come down as far as you like. You're going to feel some deep sensation here into the glutes, into the piriformis. So it shouldn't be painful, but breathe into the sensation. Just come down as far as you like. Breathe there. And then slowly roll back onto the bottom of that right foot. And walk the hands back a step to give yourself some space, and then bring right arm up and around to the outside of that left knee. You can look over the left shoulder if you like. So breathe into the balance here. Really pressing the elbow into the thigh into the ankle. Bringing out the belly here. Take one more breath cycle. And then bring that right hand back behind you. Uncross the legs. And we'll go to side two. So planting left foot on the mat, cross right ankle over left knee. Things might feel very different on this side. You might like to walk the hands a lot closer, or you might prefer more space on this side. Again, keep that right foot flexed. Maybe move that right knee further from the right shoulder. So to intensify this opening, you bring the torso closer to that right leg. Just breathe into what feels right. Keeping the neck long, keeping the breath smooth and steady, full and rich. When you're ready, start to slowly roll toward the outside of that left foot. Just come down as far as you like. Breathing into the sensation there, and the glutes, the piriformis on the right side. And then slowly roll back onto the bottom of that left foot. Step the hands back to give yourself some space and bring left arm up and around to the outside of the right knee. Pressing into that right palm to lengthen the neck. Drawing crown of the head up, shoulders down, looking over that right shoulder if it's comfortable. And from here, bring left hand back behind you. Uncross the legs, and let's come down on our backs. And actually, on your way down, just bring your props close so you won't have to struggle to find them. And when you come down on your back, just take a little time here with arms at your sides, palms facing up. Just keep Mula Bandha engaged, muscles of the pelvic floor, and the breath engaged. But just relax the arms and legs. Let them be soft and heavy on the mat. Let head and shoulders and hips be heavy. And notice where your body's in contact with the mat. Your next inhale, slowly bring all four limbs up to vertical, arms and legs. When you're ready, exhale, lower right arm and left leg. Only bring the leg down as far as you like. And then inhale, bring arm and leg back up to vertical. And then exhale, lower left arm and right leg. And just continue like that, thinking about keeping contact between the lower back and the mat. You point or flex the feet. You can lock out the knees here if you like, you don't have to. Just moving slowly with control. Cross-lateral sequences are good for our concentration. Go one more time to each side. And when you feel even on both sides, bring hands to kneecaps, bend the knees, put the thumbs together if you like. And inhale, extend the arms long. So exhale is to bend. Inhale is to extend, rocking top to bottom on the sacrum. And the next time you inhale and extend the arms long, let feet float down to the mat, bring arms to your sides, and cross right ankle over left knee. And keep that right foot flexed. When you're ready, inhale, lift the hips, press into the elbows, press into that left foot. Exhale, lower the hips almost back down to the mat. Inhale, lift again. Maybe higher than before, maybe not. Exhale, lower, hover. Just moving at your own pace. And the next time you inhale and lift, hold. Maybe you'd like to bring the hips even higher. Maybe you'd like to bring that right knee a little lower. One more breath cycle here. And then lower hips back down to the mat. And clasp hands behind the left knee. And we'll start by just circling that left knee. You can make these circles as big or small as you like. So we're rolling around on the sacrum here, shifting the weight around, and then reverse the direction of your circles, keeping that right foot flexed all the while. When you feel about even in both directions, start to actively draw that left knee and right ankle toward the chest. And I'm going to come and give you a little assist here. So you'll notice this is similar to what we did in pigeon pose. It's similar to what we did in a seated pose. So while you keep that foot flexed, you just want to invite that release in the right hip. It's letting time in the pose make things happen. Really activating the breath here. While you're here, if you'd like to add a hamstring opening, and only if you'd like to, you can lengthen that right leg. You can even walk the hands up toward the foot, maybe bring the knee toward the nose toward the knee. Just if that feels right, you can add that. And from here, slowly lower that right foot back down to the mat, uncross the legs. Bring your arms close in at your sides, plant left foot on the mat, and cross right ankle over left. When you're ready, inhale, lift the hips, press into that left foot. Exhale, lower and up. So just what we did on side one, lifting as high as you'd like, keeping that foot flexed to protect the knee. And the next time you inhale and lift, hold. Maybe bringing the hips even higher, maybe bringing that knee even lower. Take 2 more breath cycles here. And lower hips back down to the mat. Clasp hands gently behind that left knee and take that left knee in circles as big or small as you like. Again, just shifting the weight around on the sacrum here, and then reverse the direction of your circles. And when you're through circling, keeping that right foot flexed, really encourage that left knee and right ankle toward the chest. Keeping that steady, firm pressure on. Maybe noticing something's still different on this side. Yeah, that sense of study, I guess, self-study, exploration. Also thinking about when it's non-violence, non-harming, never pushing beyond the point that's beneficial. From here, you can add that hamstring opening if you like. You can extend that right leg up. Only if you'd like to. Maybe walking hands up toward the foot. Maybe drawing the nose toward the knee. And when you're ready to release, then both knees, bring your feet wide on your mat. So bring feet to the edges of the mat, sweep the arms overhead, and just gently roll the knees from side to side. Then you can turn the head in the opposite direction from where the knees lower. Just let this be easy and loose. And when you're even on both sides, find one of your bolsters, and we're going to take our supine twisting sequence. So bring the bolster between your ankles and thighs, and bring your arms out to a low T position. Inhale, center, look over left shoulders, you roll knees to the right, just bring them down as far as you like to. And then inhale back through center, exhale, look over right shoulders, you roll knees to the left. So really think about how much bigger you'd like to bring to this. Maybe it feels good to challenge your core strength, bringing the knees really close to the floor. Or maybe your focus is more on that lower back massage, keeping these closer in and taking shallow rolls. Just move with your breath rhythm. And keep turning the head in the opposite direction from where the knees are lowering. And the next time you look over left shoulder and roll knees to the right, bring them all the way down to the floor and think about releasing that left shoulder down and breathing space between the left hip and the left shoulder. So legs are totally relaxed, everything except the breath and Mula Bandha muscles of the pelvic floor, everything's relaxed. And we'll be coming to press on the hip of the shoulder to press that lengthening the torso. Maybe feel ready. Slowly inhale back through center and go to side two. So turning the head to the other side, lowering the knees to the other side, and just releasing the shoulder down. We find as much ease here as you can. Noticing how this side is different from the first side. Ready to transition out of this pose. Slowly roll back breaths here. Ready. Bring your hands to either side and you would gently lift yourself up. And you can set up props, bring a block for your head to rest on. Slide one bolster under the knees. And then bring the other bolster behind the heart so that when you come down, the chest is lifted, the head is resting on the blocks, and arms are open out to the side. I can help with placement if you'd like. But either of you like something under your hands, it's so icy on the floor. So let me see, I'm just gonna throw some blankets down. It can really be kind of not cozy. Then you cross the medicine. You've got your sleeves there. So as you breathe here, just let the chest open. Really notice this beautiful passive chest opener. And I'm going to be pressing on your shoulders, helping to open the chest. I'll be cradling your head in my hands, lengthening your neck, and gently turning your head from side to side. And as always, if anything doesn't feel right, let me know. But just think about this chest expansion. And again, think about filling the lungs with every inhale and really emptying them with every exhale. So start thinking about transitioning out of this pose. When you're ready, gently lift yourself up so you can slide your props aside. Then come back on your back, just pause there. Again, just processing effects of that sequence. And we'll take some time for inversion. So if you'd like, just slide your mat over, you can bring legs up the wall. If you'd rather not move anything, you can just take a block, slide it under the hips, and either keep feet down on the mat and set to Bandhasana, supported bridge, or bring legs overhead for Viparita Karate. And you can add arms overhead if you like. As you breathe here in inversion, just notice how it feels to change the circulation. So the heart always works the same way. It always just pumps to send blood through the system. But of course, when we change our position, the blood circulates differently. So you'll feel that pressure in the head, in the chest area. Really breathe into that. When the legs are elevated and you'd like to, you can point and flex the feet. You can roll the ankles first in one direction and the other direction. Curl the toes, roll the back toward the face. You can wiggle the toes, you can fan out the toes. If arms are elevated and you'd like to, you can open and close fists, spreading fingers wide. Rotate the wrists first in one direction and then the other direction. You can also add a final neck stretch here if you like. You can inhale center, and on the exhale, just allow the head to roll to the left. And then inhale back to center, exhale, allow the head to roll to the right. Maybe some more times to each side. Just try to let it be as passive as it can be as your head rolls to its point of resistance. Consciously slowing things down as you prepare to rest in Shavasana. So take a moment here to think about whether there's any final pose you might like to add before you rest in Shavasana. And you're welcome to stay in your inversion for as long as you like. Whenever you feel ready to come down, lower feet back down to the mat. Maybe take a final pose. When you're ready for Shavasana, use any of these props you like. Maybe slide a bolster back under the knees, maybe open a blanket over you. Plenty of blankets. Think about setting yourself up with all the support you need to feel comfortable, relaxed. And when you rest in Shavasana, let your breath practice everything go. I'll be grasping your ankles and gently pulling your legs from side to side. And if you'd rather rest without being touched, just wave me off. As you rest in Shavasana, check in again with your body and heart and soul. Just notice how things feel after your practice. And think back to what it was you wanted from your practice this morning. Feel ready. Bring gentle movement back to hands and feet. Open and close fists. Point and flex the feet. Roll wrists and ankles. Gently roll the head from side to side. And then roll to one side. And take some time there to prepare to come back to a comfortable seat. Come to your seat. Sit tall and close the eyes. I invite you to silently repeat the following to yourself. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be peaceful. May I live with ease. The light in me salutes the light in you. Namaste. Thanks for coming. Pleasure to practice with you. Be sure to drink plenty of water. Have a great day.